And I go continue now.
Ha! Like they say, they milk chickens ridiculous. Snakes that drink milk are only in stupid stories. Piersco eats mouse, big fat round mouses.
Ah, oh, so... Is that what the mousetrap in the passageway out there is for?
Of course. How else can I catch my friend's favorite food?
Nothing says top of the food chain like the look in their eyes right now. No, Herlock, how are you doing, buddy? You doing okay? You doing fantastic? You good? It refuses to drink milk. It can't hear a whistle. It can't climb up a bell cord. And it's not even venomous. How the deuce did something so land a starring role?
It's not my fault. I do not make up stories. My Piersco is nothing to do with this incident. So that's what happened.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Runsky. You turned Russian for a second. So that's what happened. That's the truth behind my best friend's tragic death. Well, that sucks. That's no bueno. Cholmes? Hosonaga? Pavlova? You okay? Susato, how are you doing? Oh, I'm losing my voice here, damn it. Miss Pavlova. I understand the difficult situation you found yourself in, and I do sympathize. But please remember this. A young man lost his life. If you're going to attempt to cover up your guilt with lies, then... no matter what the circumstances, I cannot forgive you. But... what's going on, Suzuto? What are you talking about, Miss Mikotoba? What lies? Miss Pavlova just confessed everything. There's something missing here. We're missing something. It was just a series of unfortunate events, an accident. Man, I'm in an hour-long recording session. No thanks, I'm gonna have to re-record the first 30 minutes of this. Anyway, Sholmes? What do you have to say? I'm no great detective like Mr. Sholmes. I don't have a gift for knowing the truth. But even I can see that was not the truth. Don't you agree, Mr. Naruto? To be perfectly honest, yes. There's a discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story. I'm sure of it. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Sholmes? I confess. Sholmes? I was intending to let Scotland Yard deal with any outstanding issues on this matter. Oh. I'm only present here for a very specific reason. The truth is, you, Mr. Naruto, are simply a distraction. What? A distraction? What? A distraction? What? For who? I do hope you've not been finding your shackles too uncomfortable. Oh, for fuck's... Dude! At least warn me when you do that. Ah. Not again. When did you do that? Especially as they're on your wrist as a result of my intervention. I was rather hoping I could resolve matters before we made our next port call. You were Mr. Sholmes? Yes, but I overlooked one important detail. The deceased young man was a very close companion of yours. Was he not? Yes. Kazuma was my closest friend. I owe him my freedom. Even Susato's looking at him. What's going on here, bro? In that case, we must follow this to its conclusion. No further distractions. You must uncover the real truth here, Mr. Naruto. Yes, whatever that may be. The key to this is the discrepancy in Miss Pavlova's story, I'm sure. If I can chase that down, maybe the truth will become clear. The truth about how you really died. About how the scene in your cabin really came to be. Oh, this music, though. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Naruto. So then, shall we begin? Yes. What we should ponder first is the victim who lost his life in the cabin that was bolted shut from the inside. Was this truly an unfortunate accident? Or was it in fact no accident at all? That is what we must establish in the first instance. But we've already established it, haven't we? The man tripped over the kitten that had climbed into his cabin via the ventilator. Tragic, yes, but still an accident.
Hold it!
Whoa, whoa, hold it. Who said that? Me? I said that? Wait, let's just take a step back. It doesn't make sense if that's really what happened, does it? I'm gonna have to ask you to spell it out for me, I'm afraid. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. There's a clear contradiction between the facts and Miss Pavlova's story here. The evidence is right there in Cosmo's cabin. It's undeniable. It's the writing, right? His death couldn't possibly have been a mere accident. It's not. It's the writing.
Really?
Let us show our hand, Mr. Naruto. Time to present the evidence. The evidence that proves unequivocally that the victim's death was no mere accident. It has to be the writing. We haven't used this once, this whole entire damn freaking thing. We used everything else. Or, wait, no. Actually, no, it's either this or this. Because, remember, the guy was writing it religiously until early this morning. Remember? So, wow. Wait, when the hell did I get 5 again? Didn't I lose one? Oh. Okay. Well, over here, it says over here, nothing to report, nothing to report. Biff's strong enough. But, I'm pretty sure, I think I'm getting my things out of order. It's definitely that in the other one, but I don't remember which order we're supposed to do it. I'm gonna present this first, and we'll take it from there.
Yes!
Oh, wow, I was right. The truth is clearly recorded in this photographic print. There's no way that Mr. Osogi could have left this message on the floor. That's script. It's Russian, isn't it? Exactly. Indeed it is. The word written means wardrobe. Yeah, I learned.
I see what you mean. Most people would leave a dying message in their native tongue, Japanese in this case.
But maybe he was studying Russian. It is simply language. It's simple language. He could have picked it up very fast. Okay, madam, I'm gonna have to pause you right there. Russian is not simple. It is up there with Japanese, Chinese, and pretty much every other dialect that's not with, like, Latin. Okay? Because, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah. That doesn't seem likely. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference. Stop. I'm still recording. Okay, we're good for now. Ugh, I hate this thing. That's actually not the point. It makes no difference whether he knew Russian or not.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said before. There's no way that Mr. Osogi could have left this message on the floor. And the reason why is clearly explained in here. Damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. Instant. If he was instantly dead, he would not be able to write that shit. Which means after the victim fell to the floor, he couldn't have possibly written that anything exactly. Because he was already dead. Oh, you're shocked, aren't you? That's not the only reason either. There's something else we found in Mr. Osogi's cabin. A remnant of something that couldn't possibly have been there if what Miss Pavlova has told us was true.
What?
So Susato-san has noticed it too then. putting this message on the floor aside, there's something else that gives away the truth away. Another piece of evidence that proves this was no other accident. In other words, is it the diary? Hang on, let me read this again. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator and the grill. It's gotta be. Oh, jeez, what is it now? I'm like a little bit lost because I've been recording long. Well, we have full life. We can mess around. This was no accident. In other words, it has to be the log, though, right? This time, because like if it proves there's no accident, there's evidence here that proves that it's no accident, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with this. I may be wrong. Brace yourself, guys.
Yes!
What point are you trying to make with that evidence? I'm starting to see how Cosmo's death really happened, I think. Oh, that's not it. Never mind. I think that you are starting to see nothing of the sort, and that was the evidence to prove it. Oh, wow. Well, that's not it. Oh, okay. Well, if it was no accident, then what we should be looking for is one of two things. Either the absence of something you would expect to find at the scene. Oh, right. Then it is the diary. All right. Got you. Or the presence of something you wouldn't. Yeah, because the speckled band. We still haven't found the speckled band. That thing is still a mystery. Ah, I see. I see. That was her luck. I confess you're rather languid, I see. Doesn't fill me with confidence, Mr. Naruto. Bro, I have been carrying you the whole entire time. You should shut up and let me do my business. Don't worry, Mr. Naruto. I believe in you. Well, more than Mr. Shulm does, anyway. Thanks, Suzuto. At least I have you. Yes, it's starting to take shape now. Okay, there's a clear contradiction between the facts, blah, 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 blah. Don't press too many things, because that'll be... Evidence is undeniable. Okay, yep. Okay, it's the diary. Let's go with the diary. There we go.
Yes!
Again? Wait a minute, it's not the diary? Hang on. Are you fucking serious? What? How is it not the diary? I'm missing something here. The absence of something. What? Alright, we get it. I'm probably gonna edit all this out. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes!
Floor, then. It's the mark on the floor? Explain to me how... I thought we went over that. That's why... Okay. This is what happens when you record for an hour and just don't keep things in sight. Most of that is going to be edited out, so don't worry about it. Maybe I'm going to put it in. I don't know. But that's the glass bell the kitten had around... its neck. Oh my gosh. We already knew all about that. It was broken in half when the victim tripped over the cat and fell. So we already have a satisfactory explanation where the flaw in where's the flaw in that logic. Unfortunately, there is a big flaw. A fatal flaw. What? If that's really what happened... Well, yeah, oh, okay, that does make sense. Then how did the other half of the bell end up back here in this cabin? Ah. Yes. Remember what we found we found the other half of the glass bell in that wastebasket. Would you care to explain that, Miss Pavlova? Oh no. But these pieces of evidence clearly point to the same conclusion. That's when Mr. Asogi died last night in his cabin. There was someone else in the room. Was it her? I mean, it has to be her. I don't know why I didn't think about it that way, but... And that same person deliberately arranged the scene to disguise the truth in order to cover up his or her own guilt. Kya! Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Yes, there was someone else present in Mr. Asogi. Oh, shit, hold it.
You're wasting time. Someone else was there? Duh, of course. We know this. What are you talking?
What are you talking about?
Bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. There was no way in or out.
Oh, yes. Why are you sweating, Hosonaga?
And only other person in the cabin when a young student died was you.
Yes! Did I just say yes to that? It's true, I was in the cabin when it happened. You were shut inside the cabin wardrobe, to be precise about the details. But I don't know Russian. There's no way I would have left that message. Not would have. There's no way you could have. Not would have. There's no way you could have left that message, to be precise about the details. Would you mind? Please. Forgive me, my dear fellow. He's just trying to butt in. As I was saying, the person in question wrote the word wardrobe in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate me for the crime, even though I have been asleep in there the entire time. And then the same person picked up the broken glass bell that had fallen on the floor. That's Susato, sorry. For the fear of it becoming evidence that would show how Mr. Soki really died.
But why wouldn't this person have taken all the pieces of the bell right away?
Leaving half behind was always going to raise questions. Yes, well, it was past 1 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The cabin would have been quite dark. The single small lamp suspended from the ceiling would have barely casted any light onto the floor there. I mean, it would have. Slightly, anyway. Little wonder then that the culprit failed to notice a fragment of the tiny item. Well, suspect me, don't you?
Oh my gosh, that hold it again.
Whoa, Stroganoff. Seaman Stroganoff.
Nina is woman of sea. She is daughter of strong sailor.
Oh wait, she's your daughter? Wait a minute, hang on a second.
2 years ago, they noticed her dancing skill and she went away to join ballet company. But before, she was dancer on the ship, a member of ship's band. You do not accuse ship's angel of being criminal.
And so that's it.
You say that when strong student died, Nina was there in his cabin? But that is not possible. I give my tooth.
Well, this is almost interesting. And why would you give your tooth, pray? How can you be so sure?
You're a great detective. You should know. Look truth in eyes. Cabin bulkhead was bolted shut from inside. Nobody could have go in cabin. Not Nina, not anyone. Or you want to tell me the killer can walk through locked doors? Nyet, it's impossible.
Ugh, he's right. But wait, I've read about this in detective stories. People often tie thread around door latches so they can open and close them from the outside. Yeah, but Susato, remember we told about it.
Thread? Are you stupid? These bulkheads are not barn doors.
Certainly not. These are watertight doors, as one would expect to find any modern steamship. Constructed of heavy steel with not a gape in sight, no threads or needles or magnets could have been used. No, of course not. I thought so too. But Mr. Naruto suggested it earlier, so... Susato, how could you shift it onto me like that? No, but we talked about it and we said we couldn't.
So Seaman Stroganoff has a valid point. The cabin door couldn't have been bolted shut from the outside.
Not necessarily.
What?
Oh, now here we go. I put it to you that I could bolt this cabin door without laying a finger on it. I can too. And in this very cabin, we can see the traces of the method I have in mind, having been used before.
I don't believe it.
Well, Mr. Naruto, I believe you know what I mean, don't you? A way to shut the bolt of the cabin door from the outside, yup. One way does spring to mind. Do you really know, Mr. Sholmes, what Mr. Sholmes means, Mr. Arnold? Oh, yes. Yes, and so should you. Because we've seen it happen. Yeah, it happened a while ago. Indeed, we have. So, would you care to do the honors, Mr. Naruto? Oh, I want to push the button so badly. Point out the tell signs and the method that was used to the side of the cabin door. Yoink, right over here.
Yes!
Look at the bookcase there. See how all the books and things on it have toppled over? That must have been when the ship made its emergency stop before. Yes, that's right. It's a very powerful vessel after all. When the engines are thrown into reverse, a violent jolt goes across the entire ship. Any small objects that are fastened down are bound to fall over. I believe, yes, it's what's known as the force of inertia acting on the objects. Is there nothing Susato doesn't know, or that isn't in her book at least? Or is anything yeah, you know what I mean. Well, whatever it's called, the same force that pushed over those books on the bookcase also made something else in the cabin move. The bolt on the cabin door. Ah! It was very obvious just after the emergency stop that the ship made earlier. We had some in this cabin not long before, and we hadn't bolted the door. But then... Hello? Is anyone in there? Shout if you need assistance! Oh, that sounds like Hosonaga, yeah. Inspector Hosonaga. Oh, yes. That's it. When the ship stopped suddenly, the bolt flew across and locked the door. Yes, it's made of metal, but it's small and light enough to be moved by the ship's sudden change of speed. Kinda clever, actually. Or the force of inertia. I didn't say it right. Or the force of inertia, if you want to call it that. Are you trying to say the last night, after Mr. Sagi was killed? Oh my gosh, sorry. I've been recording for an hour, or over an hour, actually. Yup, that's exactly what happened. Bolt shot. Right now. I was too late. Sorry. Yep. The SS Buria made another emergency. The SS Buria made another emergency stop. When I woke up this morning and looked around the cabin, I thought it looked a little odd. All the books on the shelves had toppled over, and all the ornaments. It was almost as if someone had run their hand across the shelves and deliberately knocked everything over. Oh yes, I remember that. And I stood them all up again, didn't I? Then when we came into the cabin, we were surprised to see the same thing in here. All the books and everything had toppled over, just like in Mr. Asogi's cabin. Oh my! Do you have anything to say about that? This, Miss Pavlova? You know, don't you? Speak! Speak! The truth shall set you free!
Are you out of your mind? You're saying Buria made an emergency stop?
It does seem a little far-fetched. How could that possibly have happened? You probably helped! Unless you're saying that the culprit is actually someone from the engine room. Oh, it is simple enough. Are you forgetting the button in the passageway outside? Thank you, Sholmes. Used to trigger the emergency alarm? Thank you, Sholmes. Exactly. Oh yes, of course. There was a notice there. There was a notice, wasn't there? Telling you only to press the button in times of emergency. On dark nights, when the fog is dense, the captain cannot afford to rely on the eyes on his lookout alone. Hence the placement of the number of buttons around the vessel to allow any crewman to raise the alarm. The sort of button one is almost compelled to press to satisfy one's curiosity. He's talking about me. I wanted to press it. That was me. Hi.
Wait, it was you?
Wait, you did it? You did do it. It was you. Oh my gosh, he did press the button. When the button is pressed, two things happen in the interests of safety. The emergency alarm bell rings, and the vessel comes to a complete stop. As, indeed, it did a little earlier today. Hosonaga? Pavlova? Nothing to say now, don't you? Mr. Sholmes, surely it wasn't you who... As I always say, a button has but one purpose in life. To be pressed. Whatever the occasion. Oh, buddy. He sounds almost proud of himself, bro. You know what? I give him that. He deserves it.
How dare you mess with ship? I report you to captain. You are in much trouble now.
Now, I'm sure all that can wait until later. Let us not overlook the fact that we have now learned a valuable lesson. When the vessel makes an emergency stop, the bolts on the cabin doors slide closed. So, what we must now consider... Yes, it all comes down to one thing now. Last night, after what happened to Mr. Sogi, did this ship make an emergency stop, or did it not?
Are you idiots? Burya's huge ship with many passengers. They would make emergency stop even in the middle of the night. There would be chaos everywhere.
Sorry. What are your thoughts, Mr. Naruto? I have an idea. Well, it's certainly possible that some kind of emergency happened last night. We have evidence to support that idea. Really? Suzuto, you were there. What evidence? You were there when Mr. Holmes tried to freaking... Holmes. No, copyright. Edit that out. Sholmes tried to, like, punch us in the face. What evidence, Mr. Naruto? Fascinating. Do show us, my good man. What evidence promotes the theory that some emergency gripped the vessel last night? Right here in the ship's log.
Yes!
Seaman Stroganoff, it's your duty to patrol the first-class area of the ship. Isn't that right?
That is correct. Why?
And the ship's log here. This would be where you record the details of your duties.
What are you doing with that? That is mine.
Skip next. Now? You rather carelessly left it atop the little makeshift bureau in the passageway out there. But as responsible passengers, we took it into our care with a mind of return it to you later.
I left it there on purpose. That is where I put it always.
The point is, looking at what you usually record, it's clearly that under normal circumstances you write the phrase "nothing to report" every 30 minutes. But from 2 o'clock last night until first light this morning, nothing was recorded at all. Nothing recorded in the log?
That is... because nothing happened.
But if nothing happened, you would normally write "nothing to report," wouldn't you? He's scared now. Indeed. So, which tells us that shortly after 2 a.m., something happened. Here aboard the SS Burya. Music change? Something sufficiently significant to make you forget to fill in the ship's log, in fact. Are you suggesting that the ship's really did make an emergency stop in the middle of the night?
Stop talking rubbish.
Wait, you're British now? Huh. Hosonaga?
If I'm perfectly honest,
I find that a little hard to believe myself. Oh, why? Well, because if something as major as an emergency stop really had happened, surely all of us would have noticed. That's very true. Thanks to the emergency stop we experienced earlier, we all know what it feels like now. The ship lurched so violently that an alarm bell was so loud, I can't imagine that anybody would sleep through that, even if it happened at the dead of night. Well, no, that's a good point. I have an idea. And Sholmes probably does too. What of the throbbing? Sorry? What do you mean? Your head, man. The throbbing of your head since this morning. We have all suffered with it. Ah, yep, there you go.
Oh, yes, I have had a headache. You're right. In fact, I haven't been feeling myself since I woke up today.
Nor have I. My head has been feeling heavy ever since dawn. Yes, you've all been afflicted, haven't you? Just as I suspected. He's right, my head's been throbbing today too. And since eating dinner yesterday evening, everything has felt sort of hazy. Just like this recording session too. I'm feeling a little bit hot. It's kind of hot. I'll probably open up a window. I'm gonna die of heat stroke in here. I can't really remember anything that happened after I climbed back inside the wardrobe. Then, the first thing I noticed this morning was the throbbing pain in my head. Someone laced it. Oh my gosh. I had already been dragged out of the wardrobe, and I was in handcuffs, and had those handcuffs put on me by that point. Why didn't I wake up when all that was happening to me? Tell me, Mr. Naruto. You boarded this vessel as a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, well, yes. Sorry. The stowaway class of accommodation doesn't usually include meals. What did you survive on? Oh, well, Kazuma looked after me. He was always happy to share his meals. So, you enjoyed some of the whole roasted chicken dish that was served yesterday evening, I take it? Yes, in fact, I had all that. Kazuma wasn't fond of chicken. Oh, really? The victim didn't eat any of the chicken at all. That's right. He didn't touch it. Is that relevant? Holmes? My dear fellow, does that not strike you? Oh, even Susato's catching on. Mr. Holmes, do you mean to say that there was something wrong with the chicken? Yep, it was laced. I do. No. Really? Is that really true? The meal prepared for the passengers last night had been tampered with. Tampered with by the addition of soporific design to induce a very deep slumber in those who consumed it.
A sleeping drug.
Do you mean whoever did this laced every meal with a sleeping drug so no one would notice the ship's emergency stop? Mr. Naruto, of course that's not what Mr. Sholmes means. What a far-fetched idea. He's like, precisely. Lacing every meal of every passenger on board with a soporific drug would certainly be impossible. Unless, that is, every single member of the crew was a conspirator. Oh no, Hosonaga! Mr. Sholmes! Well, seaman? I'm sorry to say that my more deception in this matter will get you nowhere. Come on, spill the beans, bro. We know it's you. If you refuse to talk, there would have to be an inquiry made through the shipping company, of course. And were that to happen, every member of the crew, and the captain himself, would be hauled over the coals. For aiding and abetting a renegade. Right, because your daughter, yeah. Please, no more. I will tell you everything. He looks so surprised, look at that. I cannot make problems like this for everyone anymore. Alright, come on. These crewmen are your former comrades, I believe. Yes, so when I decided to run away, I asked them to help me.
We all agreed to help everyone. Together, she threw away everything. Her fame in the ballet. Mother Russia. We wanted to help our angel. I don't believe it. You are right. We put sleeping drug in chicken last night.
Yes, I remember now. I did notice chewing on a lump of something strange and bitter at one point. Why did you swallow it then? I don't know about you guys, but if I feel something weird in my freaking, like, food, I would spit it out. I'm sorry, I just would.
Duh. We could not make all the drug. How do you say dissolve?
Ugh. Talk about heavy seasoning.
At midnight, in waters near Shanghai, we brought our angel on board. She was helped by comrade on shore with small fishing boat.
Well, all the passengers of the SS Boreas slept soundly, thanks to the almost magical effects of the slumber-inducing potion their evening meals had contained. So, if that's what's happened, the only people awake on the ship last night were the crew, people who dislike chicken, and the newly boarded passenger Miss Pavlova. And that means it would have been possible for you. You could have used that emergency stop trick to lock the Cosmo's cabin door. Pavlova? Come on.
But how does that make sense? Surely every cabin door would have ended up locked in that case, and there would have been complete chaos.
Oh, I wouldn't say so.
What?
Ah, of course. Just like us, the other passengers would have eaten their evening meal of chicken in their cabins, after which they would have been overwhelmed by tiredness because of the sleeping drug. Quite. And accordingly, all passengers were already in their cabins for the night. Yes! Wow, she did it me! The overwhelming majority of passengers would habitually sleep with their cabin doors bolted anyway. And so, not one of them would have found it remarkable to find the door locked in the morning. In summary, in order to fasten the bolt of the single cabin door on the ship, the culprit brought the entire vessel to an emergency stop in the early hours of the morning. Oh my gosh. Well, there you have it, guys. Sorry if I'm not speaking too much in this episode, I'm just reading, because it's really good, actually.
You have talked long time and said many things. What is point?
The point is what I said earlier. There was somebody else present on the scene when the victim lost his life last night. Someone who left a message in Russian on the floor in an attempt to incriminate another. Someone who tried to desperately hide the broken fragment of glass that would reveal the culprit's identity. And someone who abused the ship's emergency stop procedure in order to lock the door. All told, a busy night. But I don't know anything about any of this. I'm just a little girl.
You like to speak with your long English words and explain your clever ideas. But I am sailor, and sailors do not listen to long, boring stories. We don't believe. Sailors like me, we trust only what we see with our eyes.
A laudable trait.
What?
I'm quite the same disposition, my good man. Observation to me is everything. Mr. Naruto. Oh, yes? Do you hear it? The accusatory cry of guilt on the wind? What accusatory cry of guilt? Sorry, you've lost me. Proof of involvement, man, but you can't hear such a call with your ears. No. You must hear it with your eyes, for observation is the basis of all deduction.
What are you talking about?
I believe the time has come for one final logical and reasoning spectacular to expose the truth. What? Oh my gosh, an hour. I'm at an hour. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to do this to you. This has been an hour long. I'm probably gonna have to edit this for so long. But you know what? Next time on The Great Ace Attorney, if this video is salvageable, which it might be, I might have to do something with it. We're gonna do one final logic and reasoning to expose the truth. I've been recording for an hour and 48 minutes. You're probably not gonna see all of that at all, especially my failures. But thank you guys so much for watching, and next time is the finale of this case or this level. I don't know. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Stroganoff is angry, and toodles. Yeah, I don't. Bye. Bye.
Knock him back!
Okay, the absence of something. What am I missing? The cat? No, it can't be. What am I missing here? No obvious. Is it the murder weapon? Because this could all end up being wrong. I don't really know anymore. Alright, think. It's not the ship's log. I already showed that. It's not that either. Is it? It has to be. No traces of external injury or poison. I'm lost. I'm trying to like think, but like I've been recording for an hour, so this is gonna take a while. Mark on the floor. It has to be that they're missing. It says over here the damage to the cervical resulted in instant death. The victim's neck was almost certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to the area. No obvious external injuries or traces of poison. It's got. This is the only thing. Everything else doesn't make sense at all because I don't know. At this point I don't know. That's just go with it.
Yes!
Nope, it's not that. All right, wasting time at this point. Is it the picture still? It has to be the picture still then, right? Let me show the picture again, or this. Oh, wait a minute. I just thought of something. Cosmo will stick this over the door of the wardrobe. It says keep out in Japanese, though I'm not sure the Russian crew can actually read it. Huh. I wonder. Yeah, because this was written in Japanese. So how would anybody know that there was something in the wardrobe if they're all Russian? Really? Single thing possible that I don't even know what to. Oh, wait, is it Darka? Wait a minute, where's the cat?
Yes!
No.
I'm an idiot!